Hi, my name is Olayemi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This channel will be dedicated to assisting and helping car drivers, car owners, and insurance policy holders within the UK understand the complex nature of the car insurance claim process. On this episode, I'll be breaking down the entire UK claim insurance process as it relates to motor vehicles or car. And this is from the moment the accident happens up until the final settlement of the claim. A little bit about myself. I'm a claim professional within the UK insurance industry, and I've dealt with thousands of customers across the UK insurance industry in the front line. And believe me when I say I understand what it is that people, especially car owners, car drivers, and policyholders face when they make a claim. And I'm here to help bridge that gap in knowledge. Over the next couple of minutes, I'll be taking you through a number of processes of what you need to do and what not. So to make you understand this better, I've actually divided this video into two sections. So the first section, I'll be focusing on why understanding claims matters. And then the next section will be the steps involved in the claim process broken down for you. So when you make a claim, you have a itch-free process. So why understanding claims matters? Let's put it this way. A lot of drivers, car owners, get stressed easily as a result of the accident, and then getting through the claim process is another hassle on its own. These drivers get stressed, delayed, or underpaid simply because they don't understand how the claims process works. Knowing the process will help you, firstly, to save time and unnecessary stress. Believe me, the claim process, if not well understood, can seem stressful to a lot of people and take their time as well, because we all have other things we're doing with our lives. Yeah, understanding this will help you save time. That's one. It also helps a lot of people get the right settlement. When you are abreast of the processes, you are able to speak to your insurer. You're able to negotiate and discuss with them when you get to that stage, especially when your car has been deemed a write-off. You'll be able to get the right settlement. Thirdly, it also helps you prevent costly mistake, like admitting fault too early. I've seen customers in the front line where they, after an incident, they told the other driver that, oh, I'm sorry, I know this is my fault, and the other driver have it on record on camera. So you shouldn't be quick to admit fault. That's one of the things we'll be discussing on this channel, and that's why you need to understand the claim process as well. Also, it protects you legally and financially. When you understand the claim process, you're protected legally and financially. The times you are involved in a claim process and for whatever reason you did not report the incident to your insurer, and then the other driver actually decided to go through a solicitor, and then the next thing is you start receiving documents at home, court document, and then this could really have severe consequences for a lot of people. So this is another reason why you need to understand the claim process to avoid some of these legal pitfalls. It also helps you challenge unfair decisions. So when you understand the claim process better, you'll be able to discuss with your insurer in a very positive way, a very matured way, have serious conversation, tackle unfair decision, even log a complaint, and all of that through the financial ombudsman service. Another reason why it's important to understand the process is it helps you improve your communication with your insurer, the repairers, and the salvage vendors, especially in the case where your car has been written off. You have more knowledge. You speak as someone who is knowledgeable in that area. Even 50% of knowledge goes a long way to actually channel your conversation in a positive manner with your insurer. And last but not the least is it helps you make informed decision which related to insurance long term. So for example, when you understand the claim process, you understand that at your next renewal, you would certain, if you haven't maybe subscribed to a particular add-on, for example, maybe protect your no claims bonus, understanding the claims process will help you know that this is very important for you to also protect your no claims bonus, and also help you understand other aspects of your insurance policy, like your excess and other uninsured drivers promises and the likes. A little knowledge can make a difference in your claim process. Right now, I will be delving into the steps involved in the claim process. These steps, we're not going to go into too much details, but I will try as much as possible to make it seem understandable and to communicate in a way that you would understand while reducing as much as possible any industry jargons. First step after you've been involved in an accident is immediate actions after an accident. So this is step one, immediate actions after an accident. What a lot of people do after an accident is natural human response to situations. Sometimes we panic, but we do not need that. Yeah, you can be a little shaken up, but don't panic. What you need to do is, firstly, make sure your vehicle is moved to a safe location. If it's drivable, yeah, you can move it to a safe location off the road, depending on where the incident happened. Secondly, check for injuries. Check yourself. Sometimes at that point, you don't know if you've been seriously injured or not, but check yourself first for any bodily injury, bruises. Call emergency service if required. If it's a severe one, call the ambulance service or call the police, depending on the situation. And at this point, no matter what the other driver says or does, do not admit liability at the scene. The times we have the other driver trying to bully you, trying to be rude, especially if you're unsure about ways of fault, but never admit liability. Let your insurance decide that. Okay? Let your insurance be the judge of that. Okay. Another major issue I've seen in my line of work is drivers not knowing who their actual insurer is. At that point, a lot of people, a lot of customers, policyholders do not know who they're insured with. So I will explain this briefly. So when you take out an insurance policy, it's usually insured by an underwriter. Yeah, an underwriter, they take on the risk and will be the one to manage your claim. So underwriters are insurance companies like Aviva, like AXA, like Zurich Insurance. We've got Admiral, not to mention a few. Yeah, that's in the UK. Most of the time, a lot of customers are insured with broker. Brokers are like middlemen between the insurance and the end users, which are customers like you and I. So the brokers get the best deal for you for different insurer or from a particular insurer. Yeah. So when customers are involved in an incident or an accident, yeah, a lot of the time they do not know who they're insured with. A lot of people don't read the terms or their insurance policy. So this creates confusion and leaves people vulnerable to the wolves. I said the wolves because I call them the wolves. Those are the accident management companies. So these accident management companies, most of the time, present themselves, especially as quickly as possible during the accident, as insurer. You won't know. Sometimes they don't tell you they're insurer, but you just see them at the scene. They offer you hire cars. They offer to take charge of the claim by taking your vehicle to the nearest garage or body shop. But what they do most of the time is they often complicate the process, and then this sort of lead to delays in the claim process. So always deal, I always recommend to customer advice customers, always deal directly with your brokers or your insurers or the underwriters. If you are dealing with your broker will still direct you to the underwriters because they are the ones who are by law are supposed to deal with that car claims. Okay. After you've checked all this, that's the step one. So step number two is collecting information, critical information, which will form the bedrock of your claim. So once it is safe to do so, gather as much evidence as possible. And starting from number one, take the vehicle details, the other vehicle details, which in insurance we refer to as the third party details. So what we need firstly is the vehicle registration number. Very, very important, if not the most important. The vehicle registration number, make and model, the color of the car. That's the first thing. Then you need to exchange details if the other driver does not flee the scene or do not flee the scene. Exchange contact. Take their full name, their residential address, their phone number, if possible, and even email. The third thing you need to check the scene for any witness or witnesses. Very important. Very important is witnesses. Also, you need to confirm the person driving. The name, I've already said this, confirm the name, but confirm who was driving the vehicle. The gender of the person is also important. Is it a man or a woman driving? Are there any passengers in that vehicle, your vehicle? Are there any injuries to people or passengers in the vehicle or the driver of that vehicle? Take photographic evidence. Take photos, if possible, take videos, especially at the impact point. If possible, if it's safe to do so, you can take picture showing the angles of the vehicle, especially at the impact position. That is if it's safe to do so. But if not, you can take pictures after you've already moved the vehicle away to a safe location. The most important thing, like I said, in the video or pictures you're taking, take pictures of the impact point on your vehicle and the other vehicle. and every other part of the vehicle that has sustained incident-related damages. Also, be able to identify the location of the accident. Very important, location and time. Get uh, the landmarks close to those locations if you don't have like a specific address or postcode. If it's on a highway, it will be highway or motorway, to be able to identify this. Very important. Look for landmarks to be able to pinpoint this. There'll be more information about this in further videos. And the next thing within this step is to check for nearby CCTV. Are there CCTV footage in the area around the incident location? If they are, fine. What you need to do is to try and, if possible, to get the contact details of the parties responsible for the CCTV footage. Believe me, this is very important and will play a crucial role later in the claim process, especially when liability is disputed by the other party and where you believe you are not at fault. So always ensure you look around for that. If it's in a car park, go to the management of the store. If it's like a shopping mall like Tesco, ask that. And if it's a street, the responsible party could be the council. So get these details, because when you have those contact details, that is what the insurance company will leverage and will ride on to proceed to obtain this footage. Then also note any damage to any third-party properties. When we say third-party properties here, it could be damage to a council property. For example, it could be lamp post. If there's a post there, lamp post. It could be curb. A curb. It could be a building. Whatever. Just also take note if there's a damage to any third-party property. Why is this important? This is very important because good evidence makes liability decision easy, very easy. When you have compelling evidence and information obtained from the incident location, it makes liability decision much more easy on your part. Step 3 is contacting your insurer. Step 3, contacting your insurer. It is important to contact your insurer as soon as possible, especially when you have been involved in a motor accident. It could be a single vehicle accident. It could be 2 vehicles or multi-vehicle, which is also referred to as concertina. And it could be that your vehicle has been stolen or vandalized. Whichever the case is, you need to report to your insurer as soon as possible. So when contacting your insurer, you should know, firstly, they would need a description of the accident. How did it happen? What were the sub-causes? You need to give a detailed description of the accident. Followed by, they would also ask you for the location, date, and time of the accident. Very important. They will be asking you these details: location, time, and the date of the accident. The damages to your vehicle, very important. You need to be as detailed as you can in this particular stage, because the details you provide while reporting the accident is what will be cascaded or communicated to the repairer in the event that the vehicle is deemed repairable. So you need to note that. Or is it the offside windshield? Is it the offside mirror? Is it the bumper? You need to be as detailed as you can. Another information your insurer will be looking to obtain from you while logging the claim is witness information. They'll ask you for the witness details. Any witnesses? They would also need to know the damages to the other vehicle. What are the damages to the other vehicle? You need to be detailed with this as well. And also, another information they would also look to obtain from you is injury. Are there any injuries to the other party? Will they be expecting an injury claim? This is to ensure that they set the necessary financial reserve to deal with any third-party claim in the event you are liable or you're held at fault for the accident. They will also be asking you, were there any emergency services present during the accident, like police, ambulances? You need to also provide this information. We'll also be asked if you owed images taken at the scene and details of the third-party driver, that's the other driver involved in the incident. Other questions may also stem from damage to any third-party property or utility. You need to also detail this as well. So once you provide all this information, the insurer will also request you complete an accident report form, especially when it's more than one vehicle involved in the accident. So you will be sent an accident report form. It could be sent via post, or it could come via email. Or if your insurer has a system they use whereby you have an online portal where you can access information regarding to your claim, you can also get a copy from your claims online portal, depending on your insurer. So the essence of the accident report form is to also tell your story better so that the insurer can understand you better, especially for a lot of people who are not really good at explaining. Then on the accident report form, you can make a sketch, draw, give descriptions, and every other information. So this helps in the case of liability dispute. Your insurer will send this to the third-party insurer. The third-party insurer will also send their own customer's version of the accident report form to your own insurer to then consider ways at fault using necessary Road Traffic Act and any case law that is applicable. One of the most important part of reporting the reporting the accident to your insurer, especially for this stage 3, is what we call the policy validation questions. While you are reporting your accident to your insurer, you need to make sure that all the information you provided when initiating the insurance policy is the same. And if there have been any changes, then you should have updated your insurer, or you should be updating your insurer at that point. The reason is this: a lot of the time, customers take out insurance policy and provided certain answers to a number of questions that were asked when you were taking out the insurer. For example, like if you're the registered keeper of your vehicle, that is, are you the owner of the vehicle? Is the vehicle bought or registered under your name? Where is the vehicle parked at night? Yeah. Have you made any motor claims in the last 3 years? Do you hold a full UK driver's license? Have you got any convictions or any pending convictions? Have you made any modification to the vehicle since you took the policy? Are you driving the vehicle with the owner's consent? And what was the vehicle being used for immediately before the accident? These important questions will be asked. This is what we call the policy validation questions. And you need to have the right answers to this question. And you need to be sincere and genuine. If not, your claims may be voided or discarded and may lead to your policy also being voided. We've seen this where customers actually provide a particular information, for example, maybe with regards to certain points they received, but they didn't declare why taking the policy, or maybe a particular occupation. Maybe you were, let's say you were an engineer while taking out the policy, and the occupation has then changed maybe 1 year later after you renew, and you didn't declare it during renewal. Let's say you've become a clown or another occupation that will require a review of the premium, for example, and the insurance are not made aware. In that case, you have made a breach. You've actually breached one of the principles of insurance, which we will discuss in subsequent videos. So, because you fail to open up to your insurer. So the step 4 in the claim process is what I called assessment, vehicle assessment and repairs or settlement. Vehicle assessment and repairs or settlement. This is step 4. Once your claim has been validated after the policy validation questions has been correctly answered, then depending on your insurer, they then set up the repair service. So they complete an assessment of your vehicle. So a number of insurers use different means. So we could have a desktop inspection, or you could have a physical inspection at the body shop. So desktop inspection could be provided as an option depending on your insurer, especially if you're logging the claim electronically. That is where you log the claim online. If your insurer has that particular process in place that allows you to log your claim electronically, all you need to do in that case is to you must have sent the images across, and then once the claim is validated automatically as well, then it goes directly to the repairer. It's send an instruction to the repairer. But in the case where it's a manual instruction where you've called in and the policy validation questions has been answered correctly, your insurer will then set up the service depending on the repairer they use. They usually have an approved repairer, and this approved repairer then has a network of body shop across the UK. So they then assign or allocate one close to you based on your residential address and your vehicle maker model, because they will always want to assign a repairer that has expertise in the vehicle maker model that you drive. So once that has been done, an assessment will be completed, like I said. So if vehicle is repairable, it goes to the approved repairer. Yeah. But if the vehicle is deemed a potential write-off based on the initial assessment done by your insurer, they will then also instruct the services of a salvage vendor. So a salvage vendor for insurer are companies that actually assess your vehicle on the basis of its pre-accident value, especially when the initial assessment has shown that it is uneconomical to repair, or it may be uneconomical to repair. So a lot of the time they collect the vehicle. They could also assess it based off images with a desktop inspection, depending on what your insurer decide. Most of the time, the insurer decide the process which this goes. So the salvage vendor will collect the vehicle, assess it based on its pre-accident value, then make you an offer. If you're happy with the offer that is made, then you will agree to it, and then it's sent back to your insurer to raise payment. And bear in mind, at this stage, you will be advised of your excess as well. If you're not at fault for the accident, yeah, your excess may be waived, or in other cases, it may be reimbursed. And in some other cases, your insurer could direct you to the third party insurer, that's the other driver's insurer, who has then admitted liability at this stage. Your insurer may direct you to them to recover your excess. So at this stage, if you don't know about excess, I will be talking about this at a later time in detail. But just to give you a quick glance, excess is the amount you agree to as part of your insurance policy to pay towards your repair or towards your claim. And this will be deducted from what the insurer will pay. So it's usually two types of excess. There is the mandatory excess and the voluntary. Some people just go for the mandatory, while some go for the voluntary. Sometimes paying high excess could mean that your insurance premium may be a little bit reduced. It depends on the situation. So, step 4, like I said, if your vehicle is deemed a potential write-off, it goes to the salvage agent. They assess the vehicle. If it's confirmed that it's a write-off, they offer you a settlement figure based on the pre-accident value. If you're happy with that, you get raised. Your payment will be raised. And if your vehicle is repairable, it goes to the repairer. So you get the details from your insurer, they send the instruction, and they arrange for an estimate appointment. The estimate gets done, sent to the engineers, get authorized, and a date will be arranged for booking. So once you arrange a booking date for the repair to start, that's it. At this stage, it is also very important for a lot of people, especially policyholders or car owners, to know that while taking out your insurance policy, a lot of the time you do not know the content, and this is where a lot of complaints comes in from a lot of things we've seen in the industry. Courtesy cars, or what we call replacement vehicles. A lot of the time, customers or policyholders believe or have the mindset that when they were taking the insurance policy, it automatically comes with a courtesy car. However, this is not the case most of the time. So you need to check your policy wording to note and to see if indeed the policy has got a courtesy car entitlement within it. Very important, because if you do not have a courtesy car entitlement, believe me, you will not be offered one by the insurer because it is not stated in your policy cover. And also another thing you need to note also as a customer is when your insurance policy covers or entitles you to a courtesy car, you also need to note the type of car you will be offered in the event you are making a claim or you're having your repair done through your insurer. Because the courtesy cars, most of the time, standard courtesy car are usually the standard 1 liter 3-door cars, and it's not a like for like or similar car to what you drive. So you need to know that for you to get a like for like or similar car, most of the time, some insurer actually have additional add-on. You need to pay a premium. So they have it, you need to pay extra to get a like for like vehicle to be added on onto your existing policy. So you need to know that. And remember, this must have been added before the incident date or the accident date, not that. So the final step is step 5. For this episode, for the purpose of this episode, the final step is step 5, which is the claim resolution and timelines. In claims process, there's no fixed timeline for claims because each claim is not the same. So time scale depends on a number of factors, one of which is the number of vehicles involved. If it's a single vehicle accident, which involve, let's say, your vehicle only, maybe you're driving and then a dare jumped out and you swerve, you collided with the dare, or you hit a pothole, those are usually faster. Once the vehicle is repaired, and then the insurer pay the repairer, then the claim can be closed, and then you receive a settlement letter. It could come via the post, or it could come via email. However, in accident involving more than one vehicle, for example, a lot of the time, this could take some time to actually resolve, or it could be faster as well, but the resolution depends not just on your insurer's actions, but also the actions of the third-party insurer involved in this case. So, for example, if liability is disputed, if the other insurer has said or the driver said they're not at fault, and you also, as the customer, you're saying you're not at fault. So, this is liability dispute. This has to go through different processes where they review the accident report form. It could also go down the court path where the one of the insurer issued threat to proceedings, and then this would mean they have to instruct solicitors or legal representative, and then they go to court. You'll be asked if you wish to go to court, if you wish to appear in court. If you're happy to appear in court, then that's fine. But if you're not happy, then your insurer could look for other means to settle, maybe split liability. The timescale also depends on injury claims involved. If you are injured or if the other driver or passengers are injured, the length of the claim or the timescale of claim resolution could also take longer than usual, especially when there's an injury claim involved, because it needs to go through a lot of processes, more complex processes. So these are some of the things a lot of customers or policyholders need to prepare their mind for, especially with regards to claims. So the timescale is usually dependent on a number of factors. Like I said, the number of vehicles involved, the liability dispute, is there property damage, and also injury claim. So with regards to your repair could take weeks, days, months, depending on parts availability. Just some of the information or things you also need to make yourself aware of. And with regards to liability decisions, it could take days, it could take weeks, it could take even months. So you need to be prepared as an individual, as a customer. Set your mind to these things. As long as you have all the information, a lot of information, it sort of help the claim process shorten. However, it's not only left to you, it's also dependent on the third-party insurer, their processes, their actions, and how quickly they also want this process to move. So these are some of the factors that also play into the timescale for claim resolution. Another most important factor is complaints. Sometimes when you have an open complaint, it is the responsibility of your insurer to keep the claim open while reviewing the complaint. So the standard timescale for complaint resolution is 8 weeks. Usually this is more like an industry standard. Most of the time they try to review this and resolve this as soon as possible, but that is the timescale for resolution. So for non-fault claims, another thing another thing you should know for non-fault claim is that once liability has been accepted, your vehicle is repaired, or you've been settled for your vehicle by getting payment, your no-claim discount will be reinstated, especially when you're not at fault. Your no-claim discount will be reinstated when you're not at fault and once liability has been admitted by the third-party insurer. Your excess, like I said, may be waived if liability has been accepted. That's before your repairs are completed. However, it could be reimbursed if liability has been admitted or was admitted after your repairs have been completed or after you have been paid out. So some insurer, as a goodwill gesture, they could reimburse your excess, while other insurer could actually direct you. They could direct you to the third-party insurer who is at fault for you to claim back your excess, because excess is considered an uninsured loss. So it is to be pursued from the at-fault insurer. So you need to go to the third-party insurer who is at fault to recover it back. But some insurer, as part of their own goodwill gesture, they could also help you request that directly from the third party, especially when you have like a legal cover. So legal cover allows your insurer to help you pursue uninsured losses against third-party insurer. So claims can be complex, yeah, but understanding the process puts you in control, which is why I believe in the next set of videos I will be bringing your way, we will be dissecting more and more of the claim process by picking an aspect of the claim process and giving much more credence and explanation to it for you to understand better. This is just the beginning. If you want clear, honest guidance on UK motor claims process, this is the channel to be. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel, Claim Smart, like this video, comment with your situation or questions. I may cover them in future videos, and I will also reply to your questions. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying tuned. See you in the next video.